I'm Sylvia Bodell, Chair of the Annual Report Committee, and I call this meeting of the Annual Report Committee to order at 4:31 p.m. So the first item that we need is we need to vote on the minutes from October the 8th. Is there a motion?
I motion that we approve the minutes of the last meeting as presented.
Okay. So,
Second.
okay. The motion was made by Commissioner Small and seconded by Commissioner Blaze. Okay. So I guess there's no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Votes against, opposed? No. Thank you. The motion passed. So our briefings, we're going to begin. Adriana is, not only is she putting together this annual report, she has taught herself InDesign. She has called all of the organizations, she's met with them, talk about above and beyond. She's really poured herself into this, and she's had a lot of fun doing it. So we really appreciate your enthusiasm and your desire to make this a perfect annual report. So we're excited about that. So I think I'm going to pass it on to Adriana now.
Thank you, Chair Bodell. So excited to be here and to be running the annual report meeting since Glenn is out today. Can we move to the next slide, please? So this slide here is just the timeline that was created, I believe, back in August on our progress for the annual report meeting. So right now we are in the November annual report meeting. We've looked at the second draft on the content review, and I have the design draft completed and on InDesign, but that'll be later in the presentation. After we talk about content, I'll be sharing that design draft for your feedback. So next slide, please. Continue. So we wanted to start with feedback on goals. So we sent the goals for comment to commission. I didn't receive any written feedback, but I did at the last commission meeting receive verbal feedback. So I rewatched it and tried to summarize it as best as I could on what the feedback on the goals were. So Commissioner Holomo had a comment that submitting 4 liaison reports might be a lot. Commissioner Meek wanted for us to add that the liaison reports need to be substantive reports and not just like, oh, they're doing a play and a show on this day. Commissioner Holomo also said that he wanted to recommend a cultural spotlight calendar to be a goal so that there are no repetitions for commission's cultural spotlight. Commissioner Jackson wanted us to take into consideration that the goals were made before the expanded COP number. So some people will have a larger amount of goals or a larger amount of liaison assignments. So some of them might have 4 times 4 is a lot to be submitting for each year. Commissioner Holomo also gave comments about the attending another committee meeting for it to be a burden, especially because he is very interested in attending meetings with his liaison organizations. So he wanted to keep that in mind as well. And then Commissioner Curiel didn't want to burden the liaison assignments because she said some of them are harder to get in contact with. And she was concerned that she wouldn't be able to give 4 liaison reports if she's not able to communicate with them. I think Chair Small mentioned that, well, then that can be your liaison report, was I tried to get in contact with this individual or this organization and there was no response. But even though it was addressed, I wanted to include it as one of the feedbacks that we have as well. So that was the feedback. I haven't heard anything else from anybody besides at that meeting, but I wanted to just give you guys a refresher on what was discussed and then also share, next slide, please. The meetings for your reference. Yeah.
Discussion. In that discussion, I recall Commissioner Holomo asking whether it is still the position of the staff that the liaisons go to the board meetings. He says when he came on, he thought that they were obligated to attend board meetings. And I didn't know if y'all had a chance to look into that and come up with an answer on that, because I would kind of like to know that myself.
Yeah, that's a great question. So Julia and Glenn have been crafting a one-pager on what liaison responsibilities will be.
Okay.
To kind of clarify that a little bit, and also since we're having such a large incoming class of commissioners, for them to have an understanding of what that responsibility is.
Okay.
From my understanding, it's not that you're like I think he said like an ex officio board member,
Yeah.
and that you have
ex
to
officio.
officio,
Yeah,
excuse
he was
me.
saying, but I didn't, like, I hadn't heard that, but he said,
Yeah.
he's been on a lot longer than I have.
Correct.
But he said that he thought that's the way it used to be, so I didn't know. Commissioner Blaze may have more insight on that.
I'm not sure that it was ever a requirement. I have asked all of my liaisons, if they want me to, I would like to attend their board meetings, so they can invite me and then I will go. One of them invites me every single month. I go to every one of those board meetings. Another one posts, this is a good idea too. They post on like Google Docs. They post their schedule for the year and they post a liaison report, which includes what they're doing and when their board meetings are and all of that. So I can attend those. And they also post a link so that you can do it remotely. The other one hardly ever asks me to do anything, go anywhere with them, go to any board meetings. They just, if we run into each other at events, which we do because I'm their liaison and I go to their events, that's fine. But they hardly ever invite me to anything. So I think that they're all different. And I don't know if we are supposed to go to those board meetings, I think we should be able to let them know that that the OAC should say, you need to invite your liaisons to one or two board meetings a year or whatever we want to do.
So Adriana, are you saying that you guys are working on kind of a outline of responsibilities?
Correct. So Julia and Glenn are both drafting a one-pager on what the liaison responsibilities would be. So once that is finalized, we'll also be able to share final liaison assignments because what we've shared out have still just been tentative. So all of that will come out. And I think that'll give a lot of guidance for this liaison report because it'll give commission a good understanding of what their role is and then what should be included in that report as well.
Will the organizations get some documentation as to what their responsibilities are toward the liaison?
They will. In their COP orientations, part of the conversation will be each individual has a liaison and what does that mean? And what do you share with the liaison?
So can I,
Thank you.
can I ask, historically, is there any documentation of what our responsibilities are that you know of?
I can't speak historically because I'm not
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure what
Okay.
the responsibilities were in the past. Perhaps it was before when it was a smaller COP or like class that
Mhm.
people could say we're going to do boards, but especially now that we're growing so large, I think it's something that will need to be revisited and discussed with Glenn and Julia.
Okay. So I did want to bring up one of the things I noticed, and Anne, you can, I want to bring you in because you're new here. When we presented the goals and objectives, we went from 9 goals last year to 5 goals this year. And I think the year before we might have had 15 or more goals. I've seen maybe up to 20 goals in the past, which that really is not a goal. That's not achievable. What we did try to put into this year's is have measurable goals. So Glenn created metrics, and I think that threw a lot of people off, honestly, when they looked at the metrics and they felt like they had these responsibilities. And so I don't know if it's the metrics section of our goals that is making people kind of, say, oh, wait a minute, this feels like a lot, versus not having the metrics in there and just having our goals listed. That's another option, because the goals are the goals and they're goals. They're not mandatory things and requirements, but maybe the metric that's listed with each goal. There's one metric with each goal. There are 5 goals and 1 metric. Maybe we look at deleting the metric. I don't know. We're not really measuring this at the end of the year, honestly. I don't know how important the metric is. So discuss that.
Um, Chair Bodell, I would, in looking at all of the feedback, since all of the other goals were fine, and when we look at each and every one of these that have to do with liaison, I propose that we just have one goal that says clarify the role and duties of the liaison, and let that just speak for all of these 6 things that are here, because that's kind of what it is. Oh, for the, yeah, from the feedback. Yeah, since the feedback was basically clarifying that, and I think that would be an attainable goal because we're going to get the 1-sheeter from Glenn and Adriana. So I think that metric would be reached.
So the 5 are you saying the 5 goals that are listed in the annual report will not?
I think we keep all of those.
Okay.
And then I propose that unless, now, did one of them have something to do with liaisons? I don't have the 5 that were listed.
Yes.
Let me look at it. Which are, okay. What page is that on?
35.
Packet as well on
Yeah.
page 11.
35. Goals, funding, communication, community participation. Okay. Actually, I'm going to say never mind. I like the language as written. I think it says it. So a big never mind. I like the language as written. I think it's great.
That we have on page 35. Well, that's what we presented at the last meeting.
Yeah.
And then we received the feedback that's documented on page 11. So,
I think it's consistent. Improve communication with the song. There we go.
any other discussion? Commissioner Clyde?
No, Chair Vidal. I think these are reasonable. If it was 4 per quarter, maybe that would be something else. But I think, to submit 1 liaison report per organization that we're liaisoning to feels reasonable, especially if I tried 3 times to get in contact with the organization and they didn't respond for a meeting, which may happen with a larger institution.
Are we all in favor of leaving the metric printed as is?
I don't have an objection, but I do want to keep the feedback from our fellow commissioners in mind.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree with that.
Well, I think once we have an outline of the responsibilities, that will help clarify those things that are presented on page 11 in our packet. So, Commissioner Blaze, any thoughts? Okay. Okay. Well, we'll move on from our goals then.
Great, congratulations. So excited that those goals are a little bit more concrete now. We can move to the next slide. So I now wanted to shift into feedback on the content. I didn't receive any oh, no, not yet, Ashley. No, not yet. I'll tell you when. I'll give you the signal. I haven't received any written feedback on the content. And just to let you guys know, I did share it with commission. I want to say like last week, I sent it to full commission and a reminder on Friday as well for them to review it. It is something that we are going to have on the upcoming November agenda. She did. Yes, she received all the materials for today's meeting. And this will be discussed in the ACA. The upcoming November meeting will be about the content.
Commissioner Valentine.
Valentine, thank you, Commissioner.
Sorry, Valentine. Sorry.
It's okay. I have one note for the content, and that is on page 34 for the OSC cultural events and celebrations. I would love to see a contextual paragraph, perhaps from the director or Glenn, around these events. Many of them are new from my understanding and experience. Dallas Love Art 214. I keep thinking about the International Dance Day. These moments. So maybe just a why statement, if you will, just a paragraph talking about these AOC driven events. So that was one of my notes. My other note, and this was sort of like a specific photo editing one. For the there's a description around some programs, and one of them was arts and health. Uh, Help me with this,
What page are you
Liliana.
on, Commissioner Valentine?
Yes.
What page are you referencing? Just so that
Okay,
we can all be.
so I'm moving from the page 34, right? Which is the OAC cultural events and celebrations.
Correct.
That page and a contextual paragraph for that
Mhm.
list of events. And then forgive me, I lost my other note in what page. So let me just sort of find that quickly. If not, we could do it offline.
I
But
think,
the,
is it a community arts? Was it the Parkland Health one?
yes, yes, it was the
Okay,
Parkland Health one
let me
under the
find the
CAP
page.
program, and specifically using that photo and popping it up just because I know from the director, we've heard her talk about the arts and health work, and bringing that online. Several
find it?
members of the OAC
It's
team
on
have already
page
been doing that.
17.
Page 17, thank you. So
Correct.
just highlighting that somehow with the photograph, and positioning for our own strategic purposes.
I agree. And I actually had a note on that. So that was new this year, correct?
It was correct.
Okay,
With
so
Rhonda's.
yeah, so I do like highlighting that a lot. The other thing that you bring up, Commissioner Valentine,
Valentine, thank you,
Valentine.
Sylvia.
Okay,
Thank you.
I
Thank you, Chair.
so I apologize. Is I wanted you at the very beginning, really kind of a letter from our director, and we can write that letter, just kind of a recap. And I think that's always usually in an annual report. So a letter from the director. So
Agreed.
that will go in at the very beginning, and then we go into the more that. Yeah, yes, we do. And I've drafted something that I've already sent, and we'll take a look at it. But I do think that needs to be at the beginning editorially, and then we go into more of the boring stuff about vision and values and all that kind of stuff. So, but it kind of gives more of an economic number as well, numbers employed, economics, that type of thing. So, yeah. Any other comments, discussions? I know Commissioner Blaze has a lot of things. Yes. So, well, yeah. Well, yeah.
Share the draft. Okay. So then I can have all that updated content for the next version of the draft.
Okay,
But I definitely would love to focus on topics.
so I should just go down my list?
And
You have some of them.
I have the pages here, so I'll.
Okay. All right, on the page 3, this is just a question where it says the total heat map. I want to know what that is going to depict. Is it the density of artists, facilities, organizations, or events? This looks really complicated to me, and if you can do it, more power to you. It just seems really complicated.
What, a heat map?
Yeah. What is it of, you know? Okay.
I will ask Glenn because he was the one who said he wanted to do a heat map. So I'll get more specificities on what he wants
Right.
to highlight. Because
'Cause
if
it
not,
could
it's
be-
gonna all be red.
Yeah, and if you look at all of the things in this
Yeah.
thing, is it facilities? Is it artists? Is it organizations? Are you going to have layers? It's going to be complicated. my hat's off to whoever does that. Okay, on page 5, these are just little things. Number 2, provide artistic and cultural experiences that engage and benefit residents and visitors in every neighborhood. There's a preposition that's not there. And further down, number 1 of accomplishes, the OAC strives to blah, blah, blah. The city council continuing to improve policies, procedures, and programs, comma, recognizing that the work is never done.
Where are you? What's
On
that?
page 5.
On page 5.
But what paragraph are you referencing?
It's in the second group,
Yeah,
it's number 1,
okay.
where it says to continuously improve policies, procedures, and programs, recognizing that the work is never done, there needs to be a comma after programs. I'm sorry, this is all grammar and spelling and formatting and stuff like that. Okay? Could I go on? Adriana? Yep.
You can continue.
Okay. On page 8, all of those committees should be in boldface. On the next page, where it says cultural services contracts, that's all fine. Then it says cultural funding programs division. That should be centered and boldface to be consistent with the way it's done throughout the rest of the report. And then under that, cultural funding programs division oversees the cultural, just get rid of this division, because you've already said that's what this is. So,
I want to back up one
Yes, sir.
second while we have our director here. If you, Martine,
Yes.
if you could look at page 8 on this.
page 8, back up.
I just wondered, as we include for our 25 deal, the status of this committee, do you feel that it's necessary or appropriate for us to still reference this in the annual report?
This
Good
is our
question.
report passed, correct? Aside from the
2020.
goals.
This is for
Correct. It is
Yes,
from
yeah,
2020.
yes.
We did meet once. I think we met
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
We met twice?
During the fiscal year, more than once.
Mhm.
Oh,
last
okay.
fiscal year.
Yes. And I think somewhere else in the report, it's referenced that it was inactivated.
Yes, at the bottom paragraph, it says
Yeah.
committees, activities, and active as of
Yes.
June 1st.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
So June's.
in it, so we're good. It's-
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
It's nice and easy to overlook, but it's.
Mhm.
Okay.
it's-
Okay. All right.
so-
Okay.
'cause-
I'm good. I'm just double checking. Just double checking.
That's good.
Didn't wanna blow
Thank-
past that.
Yeah, thank you.
Listen,
But on the I'm sorry. Is your mic-
And good afternoon, everyone. I think for next year's annual report, you won't mention it at all.
Oh,
There,
okay.
there's no need. Here we are. This is
June.
fourth quarter, or even prior to fourth quarter of fiscal year 25. The committee went inactive prior to our very hot summer of becoming legally resilient. And so, next year, there'll be no mention of it at all. And if we, at some point, this quarter or next, stand up another ad hoc committee, then we'll be reporting on that next year. But this is a
Okay.
funeral of sorts.
Okay, I just wanted to double check that.
Thank you, Commissioner Small. Commissioner Stodchill.
Yes, on that same page 8, the third paragraph talking about the annual report committee, should that be September 30th, 2025 instead of 2026?
It should be. Great catch. Thank you.
Okay.
Good eye on that one, Commissioner. You want to continue?
My next thing is on, we got the Cultural Funding Programs Division, and then under that, the Cultural Funding Programs Division oversees the cultural, and get rid of that other, all right. The next page, the Cultural Organizations Program should be boldface.
Page 10.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I'm sure that all of these are all going to get filled in, all these charts and things, so I didn't put anything there. All right, page 12, I think we should boldface Arts Activate at the very top. We should boldface it as a heading and then as Arts Activate is one of. And at the bottom of that paragraph, it says each proposal must include an event open to the public. And my question is, at no charge? That's
Can
what
I,
I'm asking.
I think they can charge.
They can? See, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
if I
Commissioner
may?
Brown. Yes,
Sure,
yes, Commissioner.
sure. My understanding is that Arts Activate and the director can confirm this for us. Certainly, Arts Activate grants have to be free and open to the public.
That's what she said. That's exactly what she,
That's what I was asking.
yes.
I can look into it some more and can confirm.
Okay.
We'll confirm by next week. Thank you.
And I have a
Alright.
question, as we go through these, the bolding, like, this is just for content, I think stylized, she's
Should we not?
probably planning, I think she's probably planning on bolding headings.
Yeah, so I have a lot of those bolds in the draft design.
Yes.
But grammar, please tell me so I can update that draft version.
So, all right, on page 13, there's a typo. Percent of events.
Good catch.
Okay, I'm skipping all my boldface things and moving on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, general note, I'm on page 22, because this is where we start talking about theaters. The Dallas Theater Center, Kitchen Dog Theater, and Prism Movement Theater use the ER spelling of theater. Almost everyone else uses the RE spelling of theater. Mhm.
And what page are you on?
I'm on page 22, and these come up every time.
I think it's page 20.
20?
Yes, for Bathhouse Cultural Center. Is that
No, I'm on
No.
20. No,
okay? 20.
Theater partnership?
page 22.
Okay,
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm
There
saying?
was one on page
correct. Sorry.
It's on page 20.
Because I heard you
References
say
theater groups.
theater groups and
Oh.
Bathhouse has theater groups.
Yeah, no.
So you're saying this
The
one that
cultural centers
says,
are what they are, but the theaters are, they're all different. So,
ER.
so the Texas Theater is RE. Caramia Theater is RE.
What, okay. And
I'm still on page 22. And
I'm
I'm
on
marked,
page 22.
and I've marked these all the way through, Adriana, so you should see them. I
So
think-
Caramia is referenced on the Oak Cliff Cultural section, Oak Cliff Cultural Center, Signature Events and Festival, School of Yes. So you're saying that ER should be RE,
Yes, ma'am.
correct?
For Carmia.
For Caramia,
Yes.
correct?
And I think that the next paragraph under community programs, I think this is a really good sentence. The Oak Cliff Cultural Center builds with the community and not just for it. I think with and for need to be emphasized somehow, like maybe italicized or something. Because when you're reading it, it doesn't track. But when you make those two words more important, it makes perfect sense. I think it's a good sentence. All right. I'm going back to form again. The Latino Cultural Center on the next page should just be the Latino Cultural Center, which opened in 2003 and so forth and so on. Instead of opened in 2003, the Latino Cultural Center is dedicated. You see what I mean, Sylvia? You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I think she's just trying to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
can you repeat one more time what that edit is?
My edit was, it should say, the Latino Cultural Center, which opened in 2003, is dedicated to the preservation and all the rest.
Okay.
All right. And
Understood.
once again, Caramia Theater Company is RE. All right. So I have a problem and have had it in all of the others, page 25, to say there is this or there is that, instead of saying it houses or it contains a 110-seat black box theater.
Instead of there is, to put it
There
contains.
is and then it lists a bunch of things.
Okay, so
So if it says it houses or it contains a 110-seat black box theater, a dance studio, multi-arts, all of that, which is all good stuff. But you can disagree. That's fine. All right. Under gallery exhibits, I think these should be 2 sentences. The South Dallas Cultural Center's gallery program has stayed vibrant and impactful, period. Some notable exhibits are : and then list them all.
Agree.
And I don't know about the legacy of Freedman Towns. Is it just Freedman Town, I think, under Ashley Jordan? I think so.
Okay, if we're.
I'm just right
what
below,
page are you-
I'm on page 25.
25.
Right below what we just talked about.
I do think the exhibit discussed multiple Freedmen's Towns. But I can ask the South Dallas Cultural Center. I don't think it was just focused on one. So I think that's why it says towns and
One Freedman
communities.
Town. Okay, that's fine. And I think right below that, the Juneteenth festival should probably be capitalized.
And I wanted to go back to what you just said. Actually, there are several Freedmen towns.
Okay,
And so I think this is correct. It says,
okay.
Built by formerly enslaved Black Americans across the United States. There are.
Okay,
So I think that's correct. as
that was a question that I had and you have just answered it.
Okay.
All right. Under community programs, same page. There's no real sentence structure here. We should separate the program name from the description. So it should say the Music Lounge Program, and then beginning a new sentence, in collaboration with Jess Garland and Swan Strings. Yeah. Yeah. And the rest of it is fine. The same thing with the intro mixer and masterclass series, put a space after that, and then SDCC partners with, and that's another whole sentence.
I want to back up, Linda.
Yes, sir.
I just want to examine that one closely. When you read it again in context, I think
this- This is how it reads currently.
okay.
The Music Lounge Program, in collaboration with Jess Garland and Swan Strings, the South Dallas Cultural Center hosts for, you see, it doesn't make any
It should
sense.
say and after Swan Strings.
Yeah, so it should be the Music Lounge Program and then a new sentence, in collaboration with Jess Garland and Swan Springs, the South Dallas Cultural Center hosts 4 concerts.
So the program is not a separate entity?
The program is separate. The Music Lounge Program.
So, okay, listen to it worded this way. If it said the Music Lounge Program, comma, in collaboration with Jess Garland, I would put a comma there, unless it's just Garland and Swan Strings,
I
one
think
thing.
that's one.
Actually, when I reread this sentence, I removed Jess Garland because she is strings.
Oh, okay.
So it should be just Swan Strings.
Okay,
Okay, so if we delete that, then our sentence is the Music Lounge Program, comma, in collaboration with Swan Strings and the South Dallas Cultural Center.
and then what happens? And the South
Hosts
Dallas
four-
Cultural Center
Hosts
hosts 4.
concerts annually.
It doesn't
That
track.
doesn't,
It doesn't track.
to you, it doesn't? One more
What do
time.
you think?
It's a complete sentence that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Music Lounge Program, comma, in collaboration with Swan Strings and the South Dallas Cultural Center hosts 4 concerts annually.
Okay, and the South Dallas Cultural
And
Center. Okay,
yes.
that makes sense.
That's what Commissioner Small was saying. It was missing an and
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. And then the next one, I just thought the intro mixer and master class series should be separate, a space between it and SDCC partners with Jessica Williams, and the rest of it is fine. Now I'm skipping a bunch of boldface things. And I'm coming to page 26. And in the middle of this list, there's middle school experiences while supporting summer literacy. And I think this is really vague.
It was a space, so it should have been, that goes part of the preteen book club. So I also made that
Okay.
edit when I was working on it.
Good.
Yeah, I
It's
just
no
pressed an
longer-
extra space, so it's no longer, yeah,
vague.
correct.
Okay, great. All right, coming down to the next page, Majestic Theater is again RE. I wasn't sure, but I looked it up on the website and it's RE. And down there where it says shows and events presented at the Majestic, excuse me. You have approximately and then the tilde, 80%, pick one. Because approximate and that little tilde are the same thing, so just use one or the other. And I think that whenever you have some notable shows, R or something is or R, you should put a colon. Right. Dallas Black Dance Theater in that same group is also an RE. And at the bottom of the page, some notable shows are, and a colon. And I'm coming down the next page with the venues on page 29. The Wiley Theater is an RE. And the question is, do we want to just call it the Wiley Theater or do we want to name it what it truly is, which is the D. and Charles Wiley
You on page
Theater?
28? Or you're on page 29?
I'm on page 29.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's an E in there, isn't there?
What now? So instead of Wiley Theater, it should be the D. and Charles Wiley Theater with an RE.
Especially if that's the first one that's true.
Yes.
Agree.
Okay. All right, on the next page, page 30, the second paragraph, it says the commission reviews ongoing projects and that all makes sense, except it has been a long time since the commission was referenced. So I think maybe at this point, it should be referred to as the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission. And then all the rest of the commissions that follow are fine. Make sense? Yeah, okay. And then here's where, well, the form, I think that commissions and donations, next page, page 31, should be moved over because to the left because it's a subtopic of the public art program.
Commissions and donations?
Yeah. And boldface again, we're not gonna, I don't want to go into that too much, but since the next thing that follows it, should be installations and dedications should also be boldface, and then below that, it should say the following pieces of art were installed and dedicated. And then recognition, education, and outreach, the next page, page 32. At the top, it's also a subtopic of public art, so it should go over to the left side. Okay, now this sentence is confusing because I think it's two sentences. It's down in the middle where it's talking about Martyrs Park. It says, save our national,
Peer review panel program?
pardon?
No, she's on 32.
The middle of page
Oh,
32.
Okay.
All right, there's this list, and the middle of it, it says that we got the Save Our National Treasures Grant, short documentary on hallowed ground, story of Martyrs Park, selected for a film festival in London, period, England, comma, Preservation Dallas Award for Tower Building. I think that this is actually supposed to say, Save Our National Treasures Grant, quote, short documentary on hallowed ground, story of Martyrs Park, quote, selected for a film festival in London, England, and then another one, which is the Preservation Dallas Award for the Tower Building.
London, comma, England, period?
You could do a period. They haven't been periods up before that,
Okay.
so it doesn't matter. I mean, not really. But it's just that London, England should be together with with selected for the film festival, and Preservation Dallas Awards is another whole thing. Yes?
Yes, and you would also italicize the name of the documentary.
Yes.
And is National Treasure Grant, is that the proper name? Should-
Save Our National Treasures, I looked it up. Save Our National Treasures is an organization, so it should probably be Save Our National Treasures Grant.
So that would be capped, yeah.
Yeah.
Capital N, capital T, capital G.
Yes,
Yes.
correct. It's a proper name of a grant, an organization in their grant.
And I had put quotes on the short documentary on Hollowed Ground, but italicizing is.
Yes, it's the proper,
Yes.
correct.
Great
Okay.
catch, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah.
combing through this
Yeah,
with fine tooth comb.
Page
yes,
33.
yeah.
Page 33 is just a word left out.
Oh, Commissioner Blaze, you're blazing through this right now. Can we take a second? Can we take? I
Rim,
want-
rim shot splash symbol.
I do want to go back to page 31 on on the installations and dedications. Do we want to say the districts these items were installed and dedicated in? Family Life Pleasant Oaks? Do we want to say district for each one of those? I think we want to do that.
That's a great
What is
suggestion,
that?
Chair.
Yes.
What is that? Tell me. What you.
It's on page 31.
Uh-huh.
Registries, do you need number or is there another format that is really?
So we've been putting whole council district because a commissioner said that CD is kind of like a jargony term. So it's been like comma council district 8, but then we're also going to create a map to show it. So people will be able to visually see it as well.
Could we just say District 8 instead of Council District 8? Can we just?
County is the, there are other.
Oh, okay. Okay, good note.
Okay.
Okay,
More?
continue, Blaze. Commissioner Blaze.
You have more?
Oh, no, those
Okay.
were the things.
Okay, so I'm now ready to move on to page 33. And this is just a word left out. In the first paragraph, the second to last sentence, this transition occurred in January 2023.
And, okay.
And I've got Clyde's thing
I'm
at
sorry, what page was that on?
33.
33.
It's look, it's up
In
here.
that municipal radio
Right,
paragraph,
right.
It's
this
the
transition
second to
occurred
last sentence in
in
that.
January 23.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. And then we've got Clyde's adding in the contextual paragraph under the OAC cultural events things. I think under Deck the Plaza, we're missing a couple of words. A free and open to the public event to celebrate the start of the holiday season with lights, music, and cheer at Dallas City Hall.
Oh,
Plaza.
or two
Two.
after event.
After event and after cheer. And I'm confused about
At.
the next one. Dallas Love Art 214. So is this referring to art at Love Field, or should it say Dallas Loves Art, or what is this?
No, I think it was like,
What?
but I think it was like Dallas Love dash and then Art 214. Is that the intent?
Was it, I wasn't here yet, so
Oh, okay.
was it
Because
Dallas?
like
Was it
Dallas
214
Love,
day?
and then, but it was
Yeah.
214 day.
Okay, so we'll look at the proclamation.
Yes, and it coincided with Valentine's Day. So the 214 is
Ah,
double entendre.
thank you. I was totally confused by that.
Yeah, that's,
I remember this event. It was in City Hall in the lobby, as was the International Dance Day, which I missed and had a little
Mhm.
FOMO around. But the joy inside for Dallas, I think we want to get that name right though, and make sure it feels like a title of something because it could be confusing. I could see Commissioner
Yes.
Blaze where that might trip some folks up,
it was 214 day.
Clear in the annual report.
Do we want to remove zip from there? Because zip Sounds
What?
more like a postal thing versus an area code.
Oh, 214.
Where is that?
At the very end of the Dallas Love Art 214, it says Dallas area zip code.
Area
I think we should take the word zip out. And
Yeah.
then
Yes, it's area code.
It might have been one of those auto things that happened.
Yeah.
It's area code.
Yeah,
And then going back
that's a good catch.
and
Yes.
talking about Valentine's, it's pretty awkward to have the Valentine's holiday day. So I think we could just cross out the and the holiday and just say in tandem with Valentine's Day and the 214 Dallas area code.
Yes.
Good to me.
So it would read deleting the word "the" and the word "holiday."
Yes.
Correct. I think we also want to say it was in City Hall. Were there other activities throughout the city or was it in City Hall? Was there anything? Because I was at that event too. City Hall. Mm. Okay.
Oh, and holiday day should be first. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. You agree?
And I'll also add that it was the first inaugural event for this 214 day celebration. Right?
All right. So I have one more little thing. I mean, we're at the end, guys, of mine anyway. On page 37, I just made a note. Don't forget to add the link. Use the following link to access. Yeah, and I'm just saying, don't forget to add the link. And then at the very end, I have a question, which is, have we reported or evaluated our successes and failures in achieving these goals, these 9 goals, which are too many? So the question is, have we evaluated that or do we want to?
From last
So
year.
what are you, I think the report discusses how we've attained the goals. That's the whole thing. That's what
Yeah.
the purpose of the report, right?
Sort of, yeah. But I don't know that we covered them all, but it does, we may not need to. I mean,
Yeah.
you may be.
Oh, here's the thing. I'm stepping outside of annual report thing. I don't think we want to draw attention if we hadn't. You know? So I think the purpose of the report is to report what we've done and we can state our goals and yeah, people can read through it and, you know, and deduce.
Okay with me.
I agree. We don't need to say what we didn't do.
Yeah. We don't need to, not expressly. I mean, we
No,
are,
I-
if you read it and feel that we haven't, then I guess we didn't say it. But I don't think we need to say, you know,
It's fine with me. So that's all I had except for a bunch of bold faces, which you have those. Yeah. As I said, it's that whole thing. That's all I have. Any, so I'm through.
Okay.
Others?
I think you covered everything anybody could have.
Commissioner Valentine?
I have a
Do you have a
question
comment?
for Commissioner Blaze, and I want to know if you copyright for a living so I could hire you on future projects.
You can hire her to be your editor for sure.
There we go. Question for the staff. So how long before we get the one with the pictures? I know,
So,
is that a
It's-
bit too
it's-
soon to ask? I'm
it's-
sorry.
It's coming up.
I am.
We're still collecting photos.
okay.
We want to make sure that they are the most high def, beautiful photos that we
Okay.
can find.
I'm
So
sure they're,
today, I have the layout design and there's spaces where pictures will be.
Okay.
So I would love to get your feedback once we're done with this content conversation on the design layout. And then I'm going to say the next meeting in December will be the beautiful one with the photos and your edits already in that content draft.
sorry, no pressure. I'm just, I'm curious.
We're excited.
Curious.
Just want to see pictures because they're great. That's, looks much
We are
better.
excited. Are there any other content discussions or questions?
You know, I do have a few, but they're small punctuation things, so I'll share those off record. So if you have something like that that you want to share off record, especially Ann, you're new here. If you see some things that you could email Adriana directly and say page 35, page 26, and note your items.
Will do.
It's a efficient way to do that. So, okay, are we ready to move on?
Yeah, I think we're ready. All right, Ashley, that's the sign. That's the signal. So now I'm so nervous about this. I'm gonna share my one design draft that I made. I did have to learn it, so there was a bit of a learning curve. But this is what I have so far, and I'll go by it page by page. The first one does have some photos just so we can get an idea of what we could put on the cover. I did like this kind of version because I could spotlight multiple photos and make it diverse in the art that is being expressed. But it can all be changed and, oh, I want a different type of photo here. And I'll make sure to email this out at the end of the meeting so you guys have that copy and can really review it with more time. So that's the cover. If you can scroll to the next page, that's just a page. Can you zoom in a little bit, Ashley? Oh, also, I don't know if you're sharing it through, oh, you're not sharing it through WebEx, so our virtual people can't see it.
Correct. I was just about to come online and say,
Yes.
did not see what you're
Apologies.
talking about. It's okay.
Well, you didn't miss much.
I see somebody's doing something.
All right, now we can see it. So we'll go up a little bit, but if you can zoom in just a tiny bit, Ashley. That's, I think, a little bit more. That's good, yeah. So these are just some photos. Again, all very preliminary, all can be changed. And I wanted it to be diverse in the art that is being shown, because there's so much. Yes.
I would think that if you're going to use that dark blue, that the type fiscal year 2024, 25 should be not in black. It should be something that will jump out from that dark blue because that's going to be hard to read.
Okay. Thank you for that comment. I'll also review it because I also didn't have a moment to review it to make sure that's ADA compliant with the colors and the contrast. So I'll make sure to do a check with that to make sure that it can pass that test.
I just learned something. I didn't know that ADA applied to colors and contrast.
It sure does.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Low vision, yes, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
One of the things I'd recommend is to have annual report first and then FY 2024, 2025 after that, because that's really, it's the annual report and then the year secondary.
Understood.
And I think that throughout the annual report itself, content wise, I saw that, and that were some of the notes I was going to mention to you. So,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Next page, Ashley. This one is just like a when we submitted it page. So nothing really interesting there. Just approved and submitted on that day. Keep going. Table of contents. The numbers aren't correct yet because I'm still working on them, but that is just what we would be looking at. All right, so the first one is about the Office of Arts and Culture page. So a little bit of information on what we are, the vision, and then as I said, those gray squares are where there's going to be photos. So you'll see a lot of gray squares throughout, which is where we'll be putting them. Also noting that everything, the type is ADA compliant because Century Gothic, I think, is the one I use, and that is one on the ADA compliant list, and everything is at least at a 12 font. So that, because of it being such large type, sometimes it interferes with how much content you can place on a page. Okay. Did you have a comment, Commissioner Blaze?
Since it's for
Commissioner Blaze, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the space between the lines is a little tight.
The term for that is the letting between.
Yes.
So, yeah,
That can easily be fixed.
yeah, just open it up a little bit.
Yeah. All right. This was another very text-heavy page. It's the guiding principles page. So the top are the 5 that we have, and the next one is what the OAC will do to accomplish. And I have some of your notes on some of the grammars to fix for that. And keep going.
I do have a question on those items, and I was going to put in my notes on content. We can bullet point those items and not 1 through 5, 1 through 6, correct? They're not in any sequential order by
I don't
by
think,
importance.
I don't
But
think so.
I think bullet points are easier to read too.
Okay. All right, the next slide is, or the next page is about the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission. Just more of that information, a table of all the commissioners as of September 30th, 2025. Right. Here are the ad hoc committees, and I did bold what the committees are, and I put them in these like different squares to delineate what each one was and show that they're different.
Can you back up? Keep going. It's like a page and a half more. That. Again, I'm having trouble with the dark background and the dark type.
Like she said throughout, she was going to check it for ADA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I might just have to lower the transparency a little bit so it's easier to read. Because that's what I did here. They were very thick colors, and I put transparency down so that it could be a little bit of a better contrast.
I'm gonna say on these pages where we have the committees, I would flush left those committees and not have them centered.
Okay. Flush left, got it.
Yeah. I don't have my mic on. It's like, I feel like, no,
Yeah. For everyone who's joining virtually, there's a lot of music coming in from our neighbors. And when we very much hope we can't hear it because the playlist is very diverse. I don't think it's city approved. All right, so the next page is the cultural services contracts. Again, gray is where we would have photos, so you could have a good opportunity to have photos on this page. And then the first thing we talk about is COP. So the table, all that content, the header, still waiting on getting those tables, more opportunities for photos there at the bottom. There was just 2 tables here and it was too busy on one page, so I separate it and have this events and attendance by district on its own page to also allow for more photos for COP. Arts Activate, same content. Events and attendance by district. More opportunities for photos there. The neighborhood typologies, I did put this all on one page. It was originally, I believe, on 2 pages. And so we added a little bit more information this year on where that information for the typologies come from. And then that's not a real map. It's just a placeholder, but we'll put a map there, like a heat map for Arts Activate on where they were based off of typology. Then we go into Community Arts Division. Again, events and attendance by district for CAP. CAP had a lot of potential maps that they wanted to include. They had an event and location typology map, a map of events by district, percentage of events by district. So I just have one page dedicated so that we can put all those maps on one page. Community arts. And so this is now where I started making like one pagers for each like division and center. So community arts, I actually divided it into 2. So the first page talks about the AAPI festival and then the community circus with Lone Star Circus. And then the second page has their community programming. So it has those 4 that are listed, and I'm hoping to get a photo of each individual item to include there as well. Then we dive into cultural venues. This is just a brief description on the 7 city managed cultural venues that we have and more opportunity to include some wonderful high resolution photos. And then we'll go into the bathhouse. So I started styling these very similar. So they all have the same thing, galleries at the front and then signature events with photos on the bottom. I tried to color code it based off of the colors of their center. So bathhouse is blue, Oak Cliff Cultural Center is green and has all that content. The Latino Cultural Center, the orange was too bold, so I kind of made it a little bit lighter for easy readability, but same thing, opportunity for photos. South Dallas's red is also very red, so I toned it down a little bit and has the same format. Juanita Craft House is the one that's slightly different because they don't have galleries, so I just list their events, and I'm hoping to have photos for those events as well. The Majestic and the Moody I was able to do on one page because they don't have a ton of content, but I'll have opportunities to put 2 photos of some of their shows. Next is this partner managed venue, where we just kind of list what those venues are, have an opportunity for photos. The public art program is our next section, and we want to include a map of new and dedicated public art right there. So I think that'll be a good opportunity to have that map created. Public art program. And then I wanted to highlight, because we had 4 this year, so each square has one of those 4, so that they can visually see and have a title at the top of what it is. The next slide is about recognition, education, and outreach for public art. So more content on that with opportunities for photos at the bottom. The peer review panel program. So some of that content there. More photos, municipal radio. I did divide municipal radio by itself because I felt like it was going to be too busy on one page. So they have their own page, opportunity for some photos. OAC cultural events and celebrations. So these are all of them with the sentences listed, but I'll try to play with it if we wanted to make it more paragraph based, because I feel like it might be quite a bit of content on one page, but I can work on the layout for that. And then these are just the goals and objectives that we had previously discussed. And then I think the last page is just what is it called? The back cover. The back cover on just a simple design with some photos.
That's great. Good job.
Yeah,
Good job.
but I'm open to any design feedback on how we can improve it.
Thank you so much, Adriana. I mean, I'm still impressed. I think it would take me a year to learn how to do InDesign, and I've got some design skills, but I'm impressed. So thank you so much for doing that and taking on this challenge. One of the things I would like to look at overall when you're looking at the body of work is making sure that all of our colors are complementary and they all go together. So when you're looking at the whole body of work, it does work color-wise. And also your colors are impacted by the photography that you have. So that's you may end up playing around with your colors. I also like the idea of having more photo bleeds, where it goes out to the edges if you have that opportunity. And I know you're in a template where you need to do certain designs, but you may have a little bit of flexibility. So I think that just gives it a little more, I don't know, a design feel to it that's less boxy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then you can overlap some of the photographs.
Yeah.
I think we did some of that last year. Do you have any thoughts on that? Any discussion?
Yeah, I agree. If we can do some overlap and so that it's not just one thing, one beside another.
Yeah.
If we could do some changes in that presentation, I think would be
Yeah,
great.
yeah. My overall goal when we look at this annual report, I want it to look like a Visit Dallas promo piece. I mean, I really feel like it should look like something like Visit Dallas. So you're looking at it going, because really we have all the fun things and we're doing other than food, but we actually have food at some of our events. But really, Visit Dallas, it just needs to look like that. It needs to have that.
Yes.
And
I do want to remind you that I am an award-winning paella chef.
oh,
Remind you.
Sorry.
Yes,
The
yes.
Flamingo.
The
Oh,
City of Dallas.
yes. Yes.
Yes. In fact, they invited us to cook a paella, but I was unavailable, so I have to.
Okay, do we have a photo though that we can put in our annual report?
Oh, you know what?
That's
We
a
need a
great
photo.
suggestion.
We sure do. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna
Ah.
send it to you. Yes, it was.
What,
it was Flamenco Fever.
Yeah, Flamenco Fever.
Fever.
I remember you did that back in May, right?
It was
was-
during the, yeah,
It
it was
was
during the summer.
Yeah, yeah,
Summer.
yeah. Very cool. So we're going to be looking for a photo, Commissioner Small.
You will get it.
Okay. Any
If-
other comments?
Just a couple. I agree with what's been said, and Adriana, great first draft overall. I love some of the colors you're leaning into. I'm just curious. So everything that Sylvia said, Chair Sylvia Bardell said, and then just keep with this energy. A couple of just suggestions. The OSC special events page, which is just sort of bulleted right now. I would just think about it in a spread format with a couple of images from two of those events, perhaps, so that there's room to breathe. I think generally wherever anything feels copy heavy, because this isn't being widely printed, give yourself permission, to turn that into a spread, and have more negative space, or, enlarge a photo here or there, just so that we have that pop, and feel. And then for the goals page at the very end, I would also left align that versus centering it.
Thank you. I have written that down.
Thank you so much. And we're going to be presenting this version.
So we're going to be presenting the content. So this won't go till January for their review, but it'll be different, right? Because I'm going to be getting some of that feedback that you guys have. So what the commission is going to see is just this packet, but they've already seen it. But they're going to give comment on it on next Thursday.
So you don't want to do any of the edits and resend it out, or would you
I-
have time to do that?
I can do the edits on this, and I could definitely send it out when I send out the commission information, so that they can have an edited one with the comments that were received.
That'd be great for next Thursday. Thank you. Any other discussion? Well, I've got some new business. I wanted to introduce Ann Stodhill, and we got to see Ann a little bit at the last commissioners meeting, but we're so excited that she's joining the annual report committee. I hope you've decided that you will stay on. You can see we have a lot of fun. So we're glad you're here, and congratulations. You just got, I guess the city council voted today, correct? What time did that
Yes.
happen?
I don't actually know. I was not able to listen into the meeting. So
Okay.
it's
Well,
today is my husband's 65th birthday, and he has kept me tied up in lunch and all kinds of other
well,
stuff.
I guess festivities are in order, so we won't keep you very much longer. But thank you for joining us, and we're glad you're here, and we look forward to seeing you and serving with you on this committee. So thank you so much, Ann. Oh, okay. Oh, you want me to do the next slide? So well, our annual report timeline is our next meeting is December 10th for the annual report committee. So we'll be reconvening and reviewing our edits. Anything
Correct.
else?
So we'll be looking at the draft, and then you can see here that the design draft will go to full ACAC December 15th. So even though there's not a meeting, they'll be able to review it after we meet on December 10th.
And everybody does that over the holidays. So we know where that goes. But then they have until January
5th is when the feedback is due, and then we
Okay.
will meet on January 7th for that final recommendation,
Okay.
and it'll be put to a vote on January 15th, just in time to meet our deadline.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm going to say this is the third year I've been on this committee, and each year it gets better and better and better. So, and a lot of that is due to staff who really put in so much work, and they do all the heavy lifting. I just can't tell you thank you enough. So I appreciate you so much. You and Glenn both. So do we have staff updates?
I personally do not have any staff updates.
Any
Looking
staff?
around,
Okay, yeah,
nothing here,
yeah,
just that we
okay.
have commission next.
Okay. Is there any other discussion or business? Oh, okay. Well, then I call this meeting of the annual report committee adjourned for the evening at what time is it? At 5:42 p.m. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us and being here. Have a good evening. Good night.
Job, Cynthia.
Travel safe.